Goldman Gary and, Carlisle Jerry are on a mission.
Yep.
And it ain't a mission from God. And the fight, it's just starting. So it feels like it's been going on, but it's just starting and it's getting ugly. And they delay it using this hammer, this club of regulation. It's possible that positive outcomes are not the desired goal.
Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Talk Crypto. The SEC's strike against crypto is only getting started. After determining that Kraken's staking protocol constituted an unregistered security, Kraken agreed to end the crypto asset staking as a service program and pay a whopping $30 million to settle the SEC's allegations. The SEC's move has brought forth a lot of confusion and discontent in the crypto community. It almost seems to be hindering cryptocurrency businesses from competing within the US. A lot of people in the crypto world have different opinions on why the SEC is making this move. Some think it's part of a bigger plan by the agency, while others are unsure what that agenda is. Investment manager Mark Yusko mentioned on the 3T Warrior Academy podcast that regulations are really just obstacles to be overcome in order for cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin in particular, to reach success. As Yusko has argued, no matter what they do, it is not possible to stop Bitcoin. However, certain forces may temporarily try to impede its growth. According to Yusko, it might seem that the SEC's actions are meant to protect those in the crypto industry, but the truth is their motivation is something else entirely. Let's listen to Mark Yusko as he breaks down the details, while showing how this is just part of a bigger plan. But before we do, please consider subscribing to our channel, as we bring you daily content on the latest crypto news. And now, let's jump right into the video.
What people forget is a token, it's not a piece of gold, it's not a thing, it's an entry on a ledger, on a public, immutable, encrypted ledger that is superior in every way to the trust system that has dominated since the Rothschilds created 800 plus, the Medicis and the Rothschilds created 800 years ago. And that system is under assault by this incredible technology, this gift, literally gift from Satoshi et al., everyone who's been involved in this gift. And I have the hashtag, right? Then they fight you. We're in phase 3. First they ignored us, 2009 to 15, a bunch of nerds and geeks. Then they laughed at us, okay? 2016 to 21, a bunch of nerds and geeks with your magic internet money, whatever. Then they fight you. And the fight, it's just starting. So it feels like it's been going on, but it's just starting and it's getting ugly. Goldman Gary and, Carlisle Jerry are on a mission.
Yep.
And it ain't a mission from God, right? It ain't the Blues Brothers. It is the Bash Brothers. And they are on a mission. That's pretty good. I just made that up. They are on a mission they can't destroy crypto, right? Because crypto is bigger than them. It is permanent. It is a permanent change in technology, as we've talked about on the show. They can't stop it, but they can delay it. And they delay it using this hammer, this club of regulation.
Yep.
And it's even crazier in that they're allowed, for some unknown reason to me, to rewrite the rules, right? You go into Kraken and you say, yeah, we said this wasn't a security, but now we're saying that by staking it and earning interest on it, you violated securities laws. How did we do that? You, the rule maker, said it's not a security. And then I take that not a security and I lend it to somebody and get paid for its use. How is that a security? They're going to fight. And they're going to fight hard. Why? Because blockchain technology will do to financial services what the internet did to media and commerce. All of the old guard traditional institutions that had all the wealth and all the market cap in commerce and media migrated into Web 1 and Web 2. That just happened. And they fought it and they tried to pass regulation to stop it. And so what what people forget is this is how every incumbent deals with disruptive innovation. Throughout all of history, this is how incumbents try to slow down the progress.
Yusko has stated that Sam Bankman-Fried was just a pawn, an instrument used by the powers above to discredit the crypto industry and try to make investors back away. He also believes that the circumstances surrounding Gary Gensler's appointment to the SEC are, to say the least, somewhat shady, as he points out while expressing his opinion on the real agenda behind the SEC's actions.
Again, I have to be very careful here because I literally just got done with my SEC audit. I will say that under Jay Clayton's leadership, I thought the SEC did an amazingly good job in crypto regulation. They were consistent. They were prudent. They didn't jump in and make rash decisions. They studied, consistently said, nope, Bitcoin, Ethereum, not securities. These other things we need to check and compare them to the Howey test. Everything they did was very consistent. Gary comes in. Now, how did Gary come in? Gary was a professor at MIT. He worked for Caroline William, whatever her last name is, Sam Bankman-Fried's ex-girlfriend's dad. So look, Gary gets the job. Now, is it a coincidence that he was appointed by the guy who was elected, who was funded, the largest donor to Joe Biden was Sam Bankman-Fried?
Yeah.
How is that impossible? Like, aren't there campaign finance limits that limit how much you, oh wait, his mom created a Tumblr that allows venture capitalists in Silicon Valley to skirt the campaign finance laws. Maybe that's a coincidence. Maybe, I don't know. Seems not like a coincidence to me. And look, I don't want to go too deep into this because it's probably not in my best interest to criticize the people, one, who regulate me, and two, like, who could make bad things happen.
Yeah.
So I think it's well documented that there's a whole bunch of things that don't quite add up in that. Look, Sam Bankman-Fried is the mastermind of nothing. He is not a genius. He is not the guy who created this, quote unquote, second largest. No, just not. He is not the mastermind of anything. He is a useful idiot for a much larger group, which I will contend comes from way up high, to try. And I use the word try because they can't win. Because the fourth line of the quote, then you win, we already won. Anyone who is in crypto, we have already won because we see the future. So Gary gets the job. And Gary's very silent for his first few months on the job. And then suddenly he starts doing enforcement actions. Like you said, I'm going to use all tools. Okay, but isn't a positive approach to collaborate with the people in the industry and say, okay, here are the rules. And it doesn't appear that you're following those rules. So let's have a grace period for you to get in compliance with the rules. And if you don't, then I can do enforcement. Rather than just say, all right, there were no rules, but now we've set a rule. And so in the past, you violated that rule, but it didn't exist. It's like the politically incorrect. If a man says something in the forest, there's not a woman there to hear it. Is he still wrong? Right? So yeah, the spirit of collaboration would lead to a positive outcome, right? So helping in a spirit of collaboration is one thing, but there's a reason one of the board members of the SEC, I don't know if you're a board member, what the title is, directors, but Hester Pierce, she didn't abstain, she dissented.
Yep.
She dissented, right? She said, I disagree again with, my fellow, and he is the chairman, like he's the head, but she's a commissioner. So I disagree with my fellow commissioner that what he's doing is positive. And regulation through enforcement has has always been less productive than regulation through collaboration. And so it's possible that positive outcomes are not the desired goal, right? And look, I get why the banks are so afraid, and they should be afraid, because money is power, and money has always been power. And you know, it's funny. Remember when Jamie Dimon was at WEF a couple weeks ago?
Yep.
And you know, he's on with Joe Kernan, and he's pounding on Bitcoin, saying it's a Ponzi scheme, and it has no value. And he chose to talk about Bitcoin. Why? Because it's in his best interest to piss on Bitcoin and piss on everything else, so that he can develop internally the front end that people trust, that will then allow them to take over. I get the fact that Evil Corp, so to speak, doesn't want to lose control. And to Johnny's point, they will vilify all of this crypto, but then they'll say, oh, but blockchain on our rails is the answer. I really do think that will fail. So we're going to live in a world that's very different, but that's scary for the people being disrupted.
Yusko believes we're in the "then they fight you" phase, which is just the beginning of a long process meant to slow down the growth of the crypto industry, as it represents a huge threat to the financial system. However, Yusko believes that banks will ultimately lose their power to control digital currencies because it's impossible for those institutions to compete on a level playing field with cryptocurrency. In the end, we will win, because disruptors always win. But in the meantime, Yusko is well aware that they are on a mission to do whatever they can to try to stop this technology from being adopted. The big question is, how far will regulators go in their efforts to accomplish this mission? What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give us a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. This is Let's Talk Crypto, and we'll see you in the next video.